Today we're going to make this cute and easy paper bag scarecrow craft.
To get started, we are going to need a few supplies. So you're going to need a black marker crayon or pencil crayon, some scissors, a pencil, some glue, some paper. I'm using blue for my outfit, but you can choose a color. I've got brown for my hat. Once again, choose whatever color you would like. I've got yellow for a little bit of decoration on my outfit and for my straw for coming out of my hat. Got orange for my nose and also a little decoration for my hat. I have a little bit of red for the cheeks and white for the eyes. These are not colors you necessarily have to have. You can grab whatever colors you want. One thing you do need is a brown paper bag, or it can be any color. This one just happens to be a brown paper bag. They come in a variety of sizes. It doesn't really matter what size you have. So what you're gonna do is grab some colors, grab what you need, and then let's get started. I am going to take my brown paper bag first. And with this brown paper bag, I want to draw the mouth on. To do that, I need to find the part that opens. So on your brown paper bag, there's a part that there's a little flap. Find that flap, put the flap down, so put it in front of you. Take your marker, or if you have a crayon or a pencil crayon that's in black, you might want to do this in pencil first, so I'll show you in pencil first. So I take my pencil, I'm going to start just where the flap just where the flap kind of meets the paper bag here, and I'm going to draw a smile from here to here. So all I'll do is start where the flap is and draw a nice big smile over here. When I'm happy with that, I'll take the marker and trace over top. So if you're not happy with it, just erase it and try again. And then all I'll do is put little dashes, leaving spaces between each one. And there we go. So once I have this, I'm going to take the paper I'm using for my outfit, and my outfit's going to go underneath my smile. So this is where I want my outfit to go, but I need to measure. So all I'll do is put my bag over top of my blue piece of paper. So here I'll line it up. Here's my little smile, right? So I want it to go a little bit below my smile. See, the blue piece of paper is a little bit below. And then I'm just going to trace with my pencil. So I'll go to the side, trace down and across. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. So down and across. This side I don't need to do anything with because it's already lined up. And then remove it. And at the top here, I just want to curve. So I take my pencil and curve a little bit over and up again. So it's a curved line. That's just going to give me a nice loop as a neckline. Once I'm done that, I'm going to cut it out. That should fit just on top of my bag. Now, if something went wrong, that is okay. Just pause the video and try that again. I'm going to put some glue on that. I'm going to glue that down just like this. Now, my next part is to take my orange and make a little triangle nose. Now you'll see my bag has this little stamp on there, and I don't want to be able to see that stamp. So I want to just put this over top to make my triangle nose nice and large so it fits over that space. You may or may not have one of those pieces. I'm not really sure. So to make a triangle, I'm going to start here. I'm going to go diagonal. I'm going to go back to the top. I'm going to go diagonal. I'm going to join those lines together. And that makes my nose nice and big, so it's going to cover up that little stamp. Now you don't have to use a triangle for your nose. You could use whatever shape you would like. There we go. There's my triangle nose, and I think it's going to covers most of that spot. I guess I could do an upside down nose, but I think that will be fine. A little bit that is showing. Put a little bit of glue on that, and I'm going to glue my nose down. I would like some nice little rosy cheeks on the end of my smile. You could do circles for this, or you could do little ovals. It's completely up to you. I think I'll do little ovals. So I folded my piece of red paper so that I end up with two that are congruent, same shape, same size, and I'm just going to draw an oval. And I think that's about the size that I want for my little cheeks, my little rosy cheeks. You could make yours bigger, you could make yours smaller. There's no right or wrong. You could also just color them in or not do them at all. You don't need them. They're just like a little extra decoration. There, I think that looks really cute. So I'm going to glue those on. Now just a note here, you'll see I'm gluing them right where the smile comes up, kind of putting it right in the middle. And then this little flap still has to be able to open, so you don't want to close up that flap. So just make sure it's on the top of the flap. Now once I have my little cheeks, I've got my cheeks, my little nose, I am going to make some eyes, which is my white piece of paper. I'm going to fold that white piece of paper in half, and I'm going to draw some circles. You could also do ovals for the eyes. I find that this is a great size, the lid of my glue, so I'm just going to put the lid of my glue down, but you don't have to use that. You can use any size you want, use any tracer you want, or don't use a tracer at all. Remember I folded, so because I folded, I'm going to now cut them out, and I'm going to end up with two that are exactly the same. We call that congruent, same shape, same size. So here we go, it's cutting that out. And ta-da! Now I also want to make an eyeball in there. So I'm going to do this a little bit differently. How can I do this to show you? I'm going to put this over top of a white piece of paper so that when I color this, it's not going to go through. You know what? Let me change this up for you so you can see better. I'm just going to put this over top so you can see better. I think if I put it on my white, you can't see as well. So here's my circle. Then what I want to do is I want to draw another circle inside of that one. So you can see now I have another circle inside and a smaller one. And I'm going to put it kind of a little bit on the inside here. And when I do that, I'm going to take my black marker. You can use a crayon or a pencil crayon. I'm going to leave this little one white, the outside one white, but I am going to color in this black one. So let's try that out. I'm just going to trace this one so I know to leave that. And then I'm just going to color it in. Now you could just use black paper for this as well. A crayon works well, a pencil crayon works well. And you will notice I get this very cool looking eye. And I think I like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the exact same thing again. Now see how my marker went through? That's why I use that yellow piece of paper. And that saves my workspace and makes sure I don't get anything on my actual craft. Around we go. I'm trying to make it the same. Sometimes it's hard to make them exactly the same. So just do your best. I'm going to trace that one, trace this one, and by tracing them like that, it just helps me to stay in those lines, and then I'm going to color it in. Now I am going to glue those. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my brown, and my brown is for my hat. You could use a hat in any color you want, but I want to make sure the hat goes across. So I want to make sure that my piece of paper, I'm going to put it underneath like this, is big enough because I want my hat to come a little bit over. So here's my straight edge. I'm going to just move it so about where my hat would be sitting, and I'm going to start over here. I'm going to draw a tiny little curve that comes from the corner up to the corner of here. And I can actually do that on the other side as well, or I can fold my piece of paper and just do it that way, but I think I'll just draw it. So from the corner here, over here. So these are about the same. And then I'm just going to come back to this side and draw a big round curve that goes all the way And that's what my hat's gonna look like. I like the look of it, so then I'm gonna cut it out. If you don't want it curved, you could draw a hat that was more straight. Absolutely up to you. There is no right or wrong. And once you're happy with the way your hat looks, I like them. My hat looks like that. I'm almost ready to glue it, but before I glue it, I want some straw hair for my Scarecrow to come out. So here I have some yellow paper. I'm just gonna cut some strips. You could make strips that are shorter, longer. There's no right or wrong. You're just gonna cut a bunch of strips and then you're gonna glue those coming out from underneath your hat for the little straw pieces. And then I think I'm going to just cut a little rectangle, this little piece of paper here. So I like the yellow. I was going to use red, but I think I'll just use a little yellow rectangle here, and that's going to go down here on my clothes. So you're just going to glue all your hair coming out the sides and see how that goes. Some can be longer, some can be shorter. Just going to glue it. So I put glue on my strip, glue my little pieces, glue on my strip, glue my piece. You can do the same thing on the other side. Don't worry if it's too long, you can trim it. I have a little extra strips there. I have a little bit of a mess going on, so I kind of like that. These aren't exactly symmetrical, so I'll just move those a little bit. I could trim those, but I quite like that it's nice and long like that. So I'm gonna put a little bit of glue right at the top of my page here, of my paper bag. Glue that on here. I'm gonna take that little rectangle and just glue it in the middle of my page here. I'm gonna take my marker, just do some lines, just like I did for the smile. I'm going to do the same thing, I think, for my hat. That, or I could draw a little flower at the top. But instead, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to grab a little bit of that orange that I had and make a smaller rectangle. And maybe I'll put that up here. Here's where you get to be creative. Could put a little flower up there. And some more lines. Just looks like little sewing lines that it's been sewed on. And there we have it. Now you know exactly how to make a Scarecrow puppet. Put your hand right inside. And you're ready for a play.
Thanks for joining me on Craft Club for Kids to make this cute and easy paper bag Scarecrow craft. Remember, be creative and have fun.